My my camera cut off. So just to finish this up, I'm gonna continue reading for you. This is so awesome. Okay, so like I told you, this is the Attorney General now speaking and explaining to us what they're going to be using this executive order to do, which is they're going to be accessing federal records to count up all the non-citizens. Now listen to their reasoning of why they're saying it's important to count them up. That information, I'm right up here. That information will be used for countless purposes. For example, there is a current dispute on whether illegal aliens can be included for appointment purposes. We will be studying this issue. Census counts, which by law include illegal immigrants, are used to determine the allocation of seats of the House of Representatives for the next 10 years. What did I tell you guys inside of my video? That they were counting illegal immigrants and non-citizens to get more seats in the House of Representatives on their side, which equals them holding more votes and them having more power. And look at this, for the next 10 years, it can affect how much power they have, not just for a year, not just for an election cycle, but it can affect the power structure for the next decade. This is why we need to start caring about this stuff. This is why we need to start praying. This is why we need to start getting involved. You want to have the blood on your hands of aborted babies for the next 10 years in this country, do you? I don't know how many babies they kill every year in this country or in a certain state, but people should look it up how many get killed per year, and then you go and multiply that by 10 years, and then you can come back to me on this channel and tell me how all this stuff don't matter and it ain't important. So you can face the Lord on Judgment Day and say why you didn't have any part in his spiritual war, and that you just sat by and let the wicked ones rule and reign because you didn't want to go into the promised land and war for the Lord's territory. So this is, and honestly, I'm just now seeing this 10-year thing. I didn't even know that. I didn't know that it could have that dramatic of ramifications. So that's extremely important, even more than I even realized. So continuing, the makeup of the Electoral College and the distribution of over $600 billion in federal spending. So as far as the money, they were always mentioning that as a reason why it's important to count the citizens and non-citizens, but they never ever mentioned the Electoral College and it affecting the seats in the House of Representatives or congressional appointments or Electoral College votes, or it affecting the power structure for up to a decade. So, and not until I released my video exposing the conspiracy, now all of a sudden they're aware of the conspiracy and they're doing something about it. So, just like the Lord said, just exactly like the Lord said in my Trump video when he said that we had a spiritual meeting place between the president and the president and the church in the spirit through prayer and spiritual warfare, with him being in the same spirit and us operating in the same spirit together. We can give him information and we have the power to influence him and impart wisdom to him that he may not have, or things that he may not be aware of, or get him to move in the direction that God will him to move in through prayer. So once again, guys, you now can come and tell me of how you think. Sorry I showed those names. This is nothing to those people, but now you guys, after you listen to this video, now I want to see people come say, or you go tell the Lord honestly of why you don't need to pray about this. I want to see you go do that. So, we have seen the proof in the pudding. We have seen the prophecies fulfilled of everything I've been talking about the last few weeks. And we have also seen what fruit is bared on my channel. The tree of my channel, we've seen now with our own eyes what fruit is bared here. I don't think you guys are thinking about the ramifications of something that may seem so little and unimportant. What are the ramifications behind that of what all it could actually affect in the world and in the spiritual realm and in heaven? So for all you people who been so willing to make videos about how wicked America is and how it's going to be destroyed and how it's Babylon, well, now the Lord is asking his church to actually get involved. And I just got done showing you how the church has the power to get involved and have authority over it all, and we can actually affect change in the outcome of things. I just showed you an example of how I did the same thing. I have the president and the most powerful man in the land. I have kings bowing to the will of the Lord and doing what I say they should do and what I ask them to do. You guys need to think about that. For all of you who have access to power and faith but aren't using it for what the Lord created us to do. So like I said, a lot of people want to talk and complain about how bad and evil things are, but I just got done showing you that if the church doesn't get involved, you are now contributing to the evil and darkness to reign in power, because it said that if they regain power, it could affect the power shift for up to the next 10 years. So for those of you who aren't getting involved and don't want to pray and don't want to fight, you now will be an accomplice of the enemy. So, in closing, under my Trump in the church video, I just want to share with you guys what I put in the comments. I pinned this very extensive Bible study in the comments of that Trump in the church video. Very extensive. If you want to dig deeper into the word, and also if you really want to understand everything I'm talking about and understand what's happening from a biblical pattern and biblical perspective, I have an entire full-length, in-depth Bible study going through multiple books of the Bible, not just living my whole ministry and life off of a couple of verses. I'm dealing with multiple different books, multiple different eras, multiple different moves of God, multiple different servants and prophets of God, and explaining in very easy detail how it connects to today and what's going on right now and where we should be positioned, what we should be doing, and what we're called to do right now from a biblical perspective, not just because I told you so. Okay, I have everything I'm saying and doing backed up in the Bible. And that is pinned under my Trump in the church video. Dream of Trump in the church. It's the one with him hugging the American flag for the picture. But just to give you guys what I'm breaking down for you guys in this Bible study, where I have over multiple examples for what I'm teaching about. And I'm telling you guys all the examples in scriptures where God had a marriage or a partnership between church and state. Okay? Where he partnered his people, his prophets, his servants up with government officials. They became a partnership together in order to accomplish his will. And I go through giving the example all the way from Genesis, all the way to the beginning, going throughout the whole Bible almost. Half of the whole Bible. Okay, like he partnered Joseph and the Pharaoh of Egypt together. Like he partnered Esther with the king of Babylon together. Daniel, multiple kings of Babylon, Cyrus and Nebuchadnezzar. So all you Babylon video people, go study the whole story, not just one part or one little piece. And then you will be able to know the full picture of what God is about and what God is doing and what God is saying. Not just one little tiny piece. Okay, I'm not going to go into the whole thing. I'll let you guys go look into it if you desire. But I just wanted to give you that example. What I did with my videos and my warfare and my praying, I obeyed the Lord. He told me in this dream that I had a meeting place with the president, and that the president had an affinity and I had favor with the president. Guys, don't you know that Joseph had the favor of Pharaoh. Daniel had the favor of Nebuchadnezzar. That's how they were able to operate in those pagan kingdoms and get God's will done without being harmed, without being hurt. And those kings trusted them because they had favor for them. And they respected them. And they put them in high places of power and influence. And so when I saw that in my dream, I obeyed that and began to pray, reveal these messages, prophesy. And what happened? What was the fruit of my sowing? I was able to partner with the president, a partnership of church and state, just like I got done showing you in the scriptures. And we were able to work together to be victorious against the enemy, so God's movement can go forth in victory. A flawless victory. That is a very clear example, guys, of what the Lord is trying to get his people to understand and participate in. And I just showed you supernaturally an example of it being fulfilled before your eyes, of what we have the power to do and accomplish. Now, that's just me, and I would guess, honestly, probably just maybe one or two people. Maybe a handful of people or less. Just like it was only Joshua and Caleb, only 2 people willing to go in and fight. It's probably only me and a handful of people praying along with me and participating along with me. But God gave us the victory anyway, because he empowered us. So the show ain't gonna stop just because you don't want to be a part of it. It's gonna continue and go on and be victorious, and you're gonna get left out of the loop. And people are gonna find themselves on the wrong side of things spiritually. So speaking of flawless victory, I just got done prophesying yesterday in the Spiritual Shift in New Era video with Ross Perot dying. I just got done prophesying not being having to struggle back and forth with opposition, but going forth in fury and might, and gaining victory very, very swiftly. And so that's another prophecy fulfilled. I'm going to let you guys go. Have a great weekend. I really want people to start praying and reflecting and seeking the Lord like never before. Because the church is just not where it needs to be. And that's just the honest truth. I'm going to share with you guys 2 articles that I wrote today, if you want to go check them out. This was just a dream that I had that I'm sharing. And as you can see from this storm and this compass, this is just people that are misguided themselves, and they're also misguiding others. I'm not going to read the whole dream. It's on the community tab. I'll let you go look at it if you want to see it. But basically, to sum the situation up, there are people that are under the influence of the enemy and they don't even know it. The enemy is using you to try and control the airways and to prevent his word and his work from going forth. But as I just got done showing you guys, you aren't going to stop the Lord's work. Even if I have to act alone, and even if I only have a couple people with me, I just got done showing you we're going to have the victory anyway. So for all you people out there who are operating under the power of the enemy and jealousy and strife and gossip and slander, and think that you're going to stop this channel and that you want to purposely do things to make sure the Lord's truth doesn't go forth, and you want to see it fail, you are going to fail. Because it doesn't matter. I'm still going to have the victory regardless, and the Lord's will for me is still going to be victorious. I just got done showing you that with the highest, most powerful person in the land. Very, very quickly and very easily. So you need to think about that power that's behind that. It's not the power of a person, I can tell you that. Just some random person who doesn't even have, who records their videos on 2 broken down cell phones can influence the most powerful person in the land. You guys need to think about what power is really operating here. And it ain't my power, I can tell you that. So, people were influencing others not to listen to me. That's the dream that's in here. So, it's people who think they understand things and they understand scriptures and they think they're so close to God, but they're really the furthest away they could really be. Just like the Pharisees thought they were so godly. They thought they were so in tune, and they thought they understood the word so much. And they thought Jesus was the one that was out of touch with the word and with God, but it was really them. There's a lot of people right now operating under that spirit who are also operating under the Leviathan spirit, the slander, the gossip, who are just like I showed you, the fake mainstream media and social media giants that are trying to silence the messengers of God from getting out, silence the truth, silence the gospel from spreading. There's many in the church right now who are trying to silence the voice of the true prophets and true leadership and true authority by telling others, no, don't listen to that person. Don't listen to her. So the Lord sees you, and he told me about it. So everything you think you're doing in the dark, the Lord will always reveal and put to the light, and it will always show me. So what people think they're doing that's hidden is actually really not hidden. And so what I'm sharing in this dream is that not only are you lost, but you're also misguiding others. And when we misguide others, you're going to have that person's spiritual blood on your hands. So before you think you're operating in authority right now, we have to get our authority from God. And many people, they're trying to operate outside of their boundaries. They're overstepping their boundaries right now. You should return to your boundaries of your authority. And if something's outside of your boundaries of authority, you should just leave it alone or stay silent or don't even mess with it at all. Because if you're participating in telling people not to listen to me, you are going to be held responsible for when that person being lost and misguided. So I share that dream if you guys want to check it out. And then I just also share how Twitter got shut down. I'll let you read that for yourself. It went into a blackout. If you want to read that, it has to do with the return of the giants and the Nephilim. All right, guys. Like I said, have a great weekend. God bless you. Especially for the faithful, I know God knows who you are. I know there's a remnant here that's truly faithful, that are truly sincere to me and sincere to the Lord. The Lord knows who you are. I know who you are. So especially for you guys who are servants, who are obedient, you have a willing, open ear, willing to learn, you are humble and have humility. The Lord sees everything you're doing, and you're going to get taken care of and blessed for it. So signing off, I'll catch up with you guys later.